Hey YouTubers, and welcome to another episode here on ESGNet. This is the Sports Gamer Soapbox Talk podcast here, and we got a pretty good one here this week. NFL is making some changes to the game. Yeah, it's going to upset some fans. Well, not some fans, a lot of fans. Also, we'll talk about Manu Ginobili possibly leaving the NBA. He is talking about possibly leaving the NBA as retiring. To be honest, he is one of the type of players that I really enjoy watching, but at the same time, I hate to love, or love to hate. I guess that would be the correct way of saying it. Because I mean, in games, he was always just killing other teams, and he usually was always killing the teams I enjoyed growing up. So it's sad to see, but hopefully that will not be the case. But we'll talk more about that. Also, Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr., the richest man in NFL with this crazy shoe deal. Well, we'll talk about that. And also we'll talk about a little bit of Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods in the news, but not in a good way. We'll talk about that. I'm sure you guys have been talking about it all week long. Now, some of these stories have been about a week or so off. And I know here in the last about the last week or half or whatever, I've been busy. I'll explain that here in just a bit. So right now, let's get the show started. Right now, let's talk about what's going on in my life right now. Currently, I got some family in town, and when I say family in town, I have my nephew, or actually my nephews, because my other nephew's going to be coming here in the next couple of weeks. So when it comes to videos here on the channel, it's gonna be kind of slow in a lot of ways. So I've been working on that's why you haven't been probably seeing no videos since late last week. After the last pay-per-view we had. Of course, there should be videos up already, and you guys should be enjoying those for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which is happening Sunday. But yeah, last time we had videos was for the SmackDown pay-per-view not too long ago. So this past week it's been kind of really slow. There hasn't been too many videos up, but that all should change here in the next few days here. Sometime when you guys are watching this, should be Monday afternoon. There should be some videos coming up on the channel, but then of course over the week you'll see a lot more videos popping up and stuff like that. It may be just one video a day, maybe 2 or 3 videos a day, but yeah, really no more than 3. But for the most part here, I'm trying to get a lot of videos up on the channels here. So you guys can watch that, because I want to spend some time with my nephews and such. So I haven't seen them for a while. They both live out of state. They're going to be here for the summer for about a good month, here with myself and their grandmother. So if there's a sudden stop of videos up on the channel and stuff like that, that's the reason why. So let's go ahead and go back to what we're talking about here today, and let's go ahead and talk about Manu Ginobili. Yeah, Manu Ginobili taking a decision for his future. He came out this past week and said that he is going to retire from the NBA. So, like I said there in the intro, it's kind of sad. It's really sad to see him not be a part of that organization, because that has been an organization he's been with from day one. And you could tell. They showed a picture of him, his first game compared to his last game, and he has lost a lot of hair. But yeah, a multi NBA champion. He's been he worked with guys like David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard and all those guys, Tony Parker. It's sad to see someone like him leave the game. And it's such a great, positive person. I wish I had my notes here of exactly his accomplishments and whatnot. but a really great, a truly great ambassador. And when I mean an ambassador, someone that just represents the game so well. And so, best of luck to him in his future endeavors there. I believe he played for the Spain national team there, for the Olympics there for quite a few years there. So yeah, just a great player, and I wish him all the best. Even though he scored on us, on us Thunder's fans, so many years and knocked us out of so many games and playoff games, stuff like that. So, especially in video games, he's always the guy that when I played against the Spurs, I'm like, okay, everybody focus on Ginobili. I mean, everybody can score, 20, 30 a game. Ginobili, I don't want him to score at all. So. But yeah, best. Hope he has a great retirement and find something that he has passion for, just like he did in basketball. All right, now let's move on to the NFL and let's get into some news here. First off, NFL making some changes in their overtime, which is going to upset a lot of fans. And I know one of my buddies and a couple of people that follow the NFL, almost religiously, kind of agree with this. NFL owners are expected, or have already voted already, not expected to vote, but have already voted to make the 15-minute extra period for overtime cut down to 10 minutes, according to multiple sources, especially like ESPN, Fox News, or Fox Sports, and others. And this is actually true. This is they made a final decision this past week, and the move is questionable on the surface. Why give teams 5 less minutes? And the reason for it is to attempt the league, or apparently on attempts for the league to claim it cares about this player's safety. They're more worried about the player's safety. Want to keep especially their star players up healthy and ready to go for when it comes to the grueling task of the NFL. Now, I understand that. That's completely fine. I agree with that. But at the same time, to me, you're cheapening the game. I still say overtime should not have any time. It should be, to me, it should be like and just like many others, it should be like college football. But, put them maybe at midfield. Put them at the 50-yard line. Make them really work for it. Same kind of rules, just like college, but instead of the 25, put them at the 50. And, if no one scores after, 2 overtimes, the third overtime, you have to kick a field goal. And that, I think that makes the game more exciting. You put more. I mean, I know there's more pressure on the kickers and stuff like that. But I think that NFL wants the game to be exciting, wants to be show competition and stuff like that, and that's what I think. What it really needs, because here the last season, I think I mentioned this before in some past episodes here on the podcast. But the ratings have been really bad for the NFL, even to the point where they've now got rid of Thursday night football. I think that. I want to say it's still implemented for this season, but I think it may end up. I think it may be. I know if it's not this season, it's next season. It'll totally be gone. Last time I checked, I think NBC signed a deal with the NFL to host the Thursday night games. So you'll see football on Thursdays and Sunday nights there on NBC. I can't remember how much that deal was or whatnot. But I know, as far as I know, I think I remember hearing them talking about getting rid of the Thursday night football. Because for a while there, CBS had it, but then the numbers weren't too great. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but through mid-season, they switched it with NBC because CBS had their Thursday night lineup, which was a very popular night on Thursday nights. So you got people that enjoy watching The Big Bang Theory and Two Broke Girls and all that kind of stuff, and they were moved from I think from Thursday night to Monday night back to Thursday night. So that's why CBS got out of the deal. But apparently they want to get, like I said, going back to the overtime issue. Overtime's 15 minutes. Of course, both teams get a chance to have possession of the ball, and then whoever can, after the first two possessions, after both teams have their one possession, the second possession, whoever gets score first wins the ball game, which is totally fine. I just don't like the idea of ties. It goes on to say that there have been 83 overtime games in the 5 seasons, and 5 of those ended in ties. And I mean, yeah, that's a low number, but to me, ties only belong in hockey and soccer, because you have a point system when it comes to the tie. What is, I think it's like 1 point if you win a tie, or you win in a tiebreaker, which is like a shootout or penalty kicks, stuff like that, and then like 2 points if you actually win the game or something like that. I forgot what the point system is for both of them, but I mean, that's just spewing that off the top of my head. If they say if they ended the game 5 minutes earlier, with these new rules stated, there would have been 16 ties. Well, I mean, really, this is going to increase the tie situation here, and then to me, it's going to bring more problems when we get down the line where you got a lot of teams who are, I'll be honest here, like we always should be on the show, bottom feeders. You got guys that are bottom feeders who don't really deserve to be in the playoffs. I mean, just think it back. Just 2 seasons ago, we had the NFC East, which was horrible. You had the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and the Redskins, who were all playing bad football, not against each other within the division. I mean, they were pretty brutal which is a brutal division because they know each other quite well. But then if you look at the numbers outside the division, it's like you guys shouldn't even be in that whole. Everybody in that division whoever wins that division shouldn't even get a spot. Because there was teams outside of that division that was, if you put them in that division, they would have did a lot better. Would have ran away with that division. So to me, that's going to be the problem right there. Is you got too many guys, too many teams are going to get that tie. Then how do you really break the tie? Because then you have arguments. Well, is it going to be based on a point system, or is it going to be based because what the record is home to away? All these things are come into terms, and you're going to have a fight. You're going to have arguments. You're going to say, well, we have the same record, but you guys based on this, on something else, or whatever the case may be. So I think the rules committee there and Better Play Safety, I commend them on that, but I think it's just a bad idea of doing that. I think you guys, honestly, as a fan, I want to see some excitement. I want to see a drama in the game, and I want to see a winner. I want to see a clear-cut winner, because these guys go out there and play they go out there and play their asses off. And I think a tie would just be a slap in the face. You got a lot of guys that skills, and not to mention, this gives you a chance to bring those younger guys into the game. You can see what they're made of, test their mettle. See those guys that don't get a play that often, they get on the field and see what they can do. Because a lot of other teams haven't seen this guy play. They don't know what his mannerisms are, all that kind of stuff that you can factor into it. I think it'll make it more fun and exciting. When you break it, once you break it down. So owners expected, of course, they've already ruled on it past Tuesday, and so that's gonna be the new deal for next. Actually, I think it's implemented. I'm not sure if it's gonna be implemented. I think. Let me see here. Yeah, it's gonna be implemented, I think, this season. So this will be the season where it's going to be implemented, and it'll be a part of the part of the rules and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough. I think it'll be a really tough thing for a lot of people. I know a couple of my buddies here that are just like, okay, like if they, like one of my buddies said, if they start putting flags on, on the football player, stuff like that, no more tackling. He is done watching, and I'm sorry, but I think we're about 2 years away from there. Maybe I'd say 5 years away from that. So at some point we're gonna have it like that. I mean, I understand they want to, player safety and stuff like that, but at the same time, this is when you can put your other players in there who have a skill that they can do. Put them in there and really just, like I said, test their mettle and see what they're all about, and see if they're really worth what you paid for. All right, going on to staying in the NFL, we'll talk about Odell Beckham Jr.'s deal. The Giants player who signed with Nike here recently, this past week. It's a 5-year deal worth in the neighborhood of about $5 million a year. Whew. And it is so that's about 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 million. Woo! Over a course of over 5 years. The richest shoe deal in NFL history, or really any NFL player since the existence of NFL, about 2 times more than the previous Nike deal with a football player. So this is big time. Nike is really putting all their eggs in one basket here. The deal will make Beckham the largest spokesperson for Nike, including campaigns outside of football. The deal got so big because Adidas wanted to take him, Beckham, from Nike. So, a lot of sources say Nike had the right to match the offer, and which they did. So they did so, and they went ahead and signed. Of course, his agent and his mom, who is his manager, inked the deal for him and got the deal for him. And so, Beckham's value. If you've seen this past year, he was wearing some shoes there. I don't know if those are going to be the shoes that fans will, because I believe he's going to have a shoe line. Some custom shoes that he's had we've seen him during the preseason games. Of course, those are shoes that they can't wear because it doesn't follow the it's a uniform issue. You gotta all kind of look alike on the field and whatnot, show that that harmony of teamwork and the team spirit. But apparently he is going to be he is in talks with Nike of making some shoes and cleats and stuff like that people full players that can wear on the field, and some shoes that you can wear off the field there. So, but yeah, he has 8.3 million Instagram followers, 2.3 million Twitter followers, and just near a million and a half Facebook followers there on social media. So he is definitely raking in. But yeah, the shoes that he got, I mentioned not too long ago here. Trey Cole is the guy that a friend of his who makes the customized shoes there. And he last year he had some really pretty interesting shoes. I think he had a Superman shoes, and he had the Back to the Future shoes, which was kind of a tribute because it was the 25th anniversary of the movie and whatnot. So that he has pretty good shoes there. But he's on his final deal of his 4-year contract, his rookie contract there, set to make about $1.8 million in 2017. Nike just really going out on this. And like I said, this is the biggest deal that Nike has been doing or has done with any player really in NFL or any sport. And that includes LeBron James and KD. So that's if you're up there and your name's being mentioned among him, that's pretty big deal there for him. So, but yeah, Giants recently just exercised the fifth year of his option for 2018, and he'll get paid more than $8 million, becoming a free agent in 2019. So. And, of course, I wouldn't be surprised after the 2019 season. I have a good feeling they'll tag him as franchise player there for their organization there. So we'll see from there. All right, now let's continue on here, and let's move on to some more news here in the NFL now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention or noticing anything since or here this last past week or so, but Megatron's been in the news here lately. Former Lions receiver Calvin Johnson. He was really not a talker in the game of football. Didn't really talk too much smack on the field or off the field. He was kind of a quiet guy. Now that has changed. Now, most recently here, past week, he had to write a check of $320,000 to the team there, to the Lions, because of his early retirement that he took. Of course, that's 10% of his $3.2 million unearned signing bonus that he had, money remaining on his contract, to the team when he unexpectedly, during the middle of the season, decided to retire. Now, Lions wanted to, of course, they have collected the money and proceeding other players, because now they have more room in their cap. Last time, of course, a player did this was back in 1999 when they went after Barry Sanders, and this is the reason why they implemented this rule, because of Sanders, because Sanders walked away from the game, and just try to avoid any issues like that. They've cut Johnson and serving as only a right to the bonus or the reimbursement. So that is the case here for him. Of course, now they have somewhere around $15 million, around $16 million in cap. $24 million hitting the books in 2016. Now the Lions should have cut him because they would have had got a lot of that money back, after the course of the season. But Johnson refused to restructure the deal, and then this is pretty much why we're in this situation. Now he has been he has spoke about it there. He made some comments and nothing to nothing that would upset the organization or whatnot. But a lot of Lions fans are going crazy because of another related story to him. Is this past offseason, he was shown at a OTA of the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders. And there's rumors saying that he does not want to retire. He only did that because he's wanting to get out of his deal with the Lions, knowing that if he did leave early or at least call retirement, because he still has that window of time where you can. Apparently, I guess the papers that you sign to say your retirement have not been filed yet on his behalf yet. So he's been contemplating about coming back. Well, rumor has it, at least people close to him have said that he has not officially, came out and said that he was retiring for good. He was just retiring for the time being. By the looks of it, he does look like he wants to come back and play in the NFL. And one of the teams that have been talking to him is the Raiders. I believe the Raiders. And I believe another team, at least I heard that he had dinner, according to sources through Fox Sports 1. He's been talking to Bill Belichick. Belichick has been talking to him, and he could be coming to New England, which would really upset me. There's been talks about it. It was, I believe, early last week. He was seen at the Raiders facility there, and talking to the team and some of the wide receivers, getting some pointers and stuff like that. When he was interviewed by a couple of reporters, he kind of left it up in the air of, that, there was a possibility that he could come back, after, paying off his contract that he had. He had, of course, had to pay 10% of that to get out of it. he could be making a comeback here in 2017. So we could possibly see him with another team. Now, another team that too has been really rumored was with the, I believe, with the Cowboys. There's been talks about him possibly going to Dallas and playing for them. So we'll keep our ear to the ground here. We'll try to see if that'll be the case here over the course of the offseason, and we'll let you guys know. Of course, you guys will know before we will. But yeah, I think that'd be really interesting to see him come back. And I wouldn't be so, this is almost in a way. There was other rumors saying that the Tiger or the Lions were trying to force him to retire because they knew his contract was coming up, and they didn't really want him to go anywhere else. Kind of almost in the same ways. A lot of people were kind of describing it the same way the way the Packers did to Brett Favre. Is trying to get him to retire so he can come back and play for another team, or at least not play for the team within the division. That's why they traded him from the Packers to the Jets. So because there was rumors saying that he was going to go to the Bears or the Vikings, which eventually he did go to the Vikings, and of course had that really interesting season there with them, and it really did put a number on Packers fans there. So, but we'll see how that goes about here. Over the course of the offseason. All right, so that's it for the NFL. What's going on there? Let's go ahead and let's move on here to, and I believe we're going to we're going to stay on the gridiron, but we're going to go to the college route here. Leonard, hopefully I'm saying this, Fournette, the older brother there, who is a former LSU linebacker or running back, and of course he plays now for Jacksonville. His little brother, Leonard Fournette, was arrested this past, actually last Monday. It's been a little over a week now. He was charged for illegal gambling. According to a local channel called WAFB, the 20-year-old Fournette was arrested for using someone else's ID at a gambling casino there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, over that weekend. And reportedly, it was said that he left the casino after being questioned by security, and then later booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish, they say prison, but jail, and charged for using a fake ID to gamble. Now, he was released on $1,000 bond. The guy, a young man, he is a running back for LSU, and he was recruited before coming in there on course on. This is according to Scout.com. The New Orleans native was a 3-star recruit who was originally signed with LSU as a wide receiver. He plays particularly in the Tigers' last season, registering 13 rushing yards on 5 carries there. So not a really big household name, but of course his brother plays in the NFL. And this is not something that is this is something that's not really not really unheard of, uncommon really. I know personally from my going through college and I was with a local college, local community college. I was a film director. I made the game films, captured the game films, and then made tapes for the players so they can use those for recruiting tools and stuff like that. I know quite a few players that that went on to play somewhere else. Went from the junior college to 4-year schools, and eventually some of them got were undrafted guys. And I know some stuff they did, some illegal stuff. I'm not gonna name any names or anything like that, but This is not uncommon. There's college guys do these funny things, and I mean, this is something serious, and it should be nothing to be laughed at, because that is a serious crime. Because if you're, he's only 20, and you got to be on to go to the casino, you have to be 21. That's why there's laws for that. And especially him being a NCAA player, this is going to be a serious. This could be a serious violation to him. He could be losing, your eligibility if NCAA wanted to really punish him. But so far we haven't heard. There's been no reports of the school taking any action on this or anything. There's a link down below. You guys can read more of the article there. But I mean, this is something that's pretty common. I mean, it's not as bad as some of the Ohio State guys getting those trading, getting tattoos and trading it for autographs and all that kind of stuff. But it can grow to something really really bad. I mean, because he could end up owing money to a bookie or something like that, and then of course if you know anything about that kind of stuff, that can be very dangerous and very dangerous and very quick. So I'm hoping that this young man will try to get some help here. Obviously, he has a gambling issue, and that's something that I think LSU is going to have to look at and try to get him help on. But yeah, this is to me, I wasn't really surprised about this, because I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that just they do stuff, try to use their, especially if they're local and then people know who they are and know what they do. They think they will be swept underneath the rug, and a lot of times, they don't want, that kind of, especially if they know how old that kid is. They don't want to get that kid in danger, But then there are times there's people that take advantage of that, and bad things happen. So hopefully this young man has learned his lesson and whatnot. But I know a couple players when I was in college and stuff like that. I knew a lot of guys that would go to casinos and with fake IDs, would buy fake IDs, and do it quite often. Especially not just with going to the casino, but go and buy beer, and then also other things are illegal. But of course that you don't have to be a certain age for drugs or anything like that. But because there was one player I know. He was a really great running back there at the community college I went to, and this kid, I mean, he had a lot of schools looking at him. He had a lot of schools in the Big Ten, Ohio State being one of them. Ohio State, I think Michigan, Nebraska, and there was a couple of Pac-12 teams that were looking at him. Teams like what was it? UCLA and something else. Somebody else was looking at him. I can't remember who the last one was. Well, anyway, the thing is, he was a good player, and the kid had a bright future. And I remember the last day that year I was there at the community college I was at. And I guess they were doing surveillance on the house that he lived at, and he got arrested. And all his scholarships and everything were taken away from him. And I think he went back. I believe, I can't remember exactly where I think he was somewhere from southern Missouri. I think around. Well, no, I take it back. Now as I think about it, it was around Kansas City. He was from Kansas City, great football player, but it just he got in trouble with the law and especially with drugs and stuff, and it just took away his his dreams of playing, playing for some really good schools there that I just mentioned there. So, but yeah, that's what happens when you just you guys don't when guys like that just don't realize they have something great for themselves, and let it go by the wayside by doing stupid stuff. So but yeah, you guys can read the article actually about the guy from LSU there down below. There's a link down below there you guys can check out and follow that story more. I'll put it on I'll try to put it on Twitter and also, especially on our Facebook page there. You guys can check those out. So, but yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully he'll get his act together and he'll be able to, this will be something that the NFL will look at when if he does get drafted by a team there. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get into. Well, actually, that's the last story of the show here. So, we'll try to wrap up the show. Yeah, I know it's a short one. You guys probably like, oh, finally, God. But yeah, we'll wrap up the show here. But yeah, all these stories you guys I've mentioned here today, you guys can check those out here on here. The link, like I said, the links are down below in the description. They'll also be on our Facebook and Twitter page. You guys can check those out and read more about them. But that is it for this week here on ESGNet's Sports Gamers Soapbox Talk podcast. Next week we'll talk about what's going on. I haven't been talking about baseball here late, so we'll get into some baseball. Also, we'll talk about the NBA Finals. It's just I think they're down 2 games now. Cleveland is, and got a game 3 coming up. And if they go 3-0, man, it's gonna be a tough series for them if they go down 3-0. So we'll see how that goes here coming up. By the time this video actually goes up, they'll probably be done with game 3, probably getting ready for game 4. But oh well, it happens. Been busy. Hopefully we'll have more of these videos. I'm trying my best trying to get this series out twice a week, so we can just talk about sports, or at least I can talk about sports with you guys. But if you guys got anything you guys want to talk about, if there's anything going on in sports that no one's covering or no one's talking about, let me know. Send a link to the story that you guys want me to talk about. I'll read it and give you guys my thoughts about it, and just kind of just have a little discussion about it here on the show. Eventually, sometime here, I'm going to have some guests come on the show, on the podcast here. I think here in a couple weeks, my buddy Steve. I know I mentioned him quite a few times here on the show. I'm gonna try to get him on here, and so we can just talk about sports. And we're both wrestling fans, so we'll probably talk about a lot of wrestling going on right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling world. But yeah, I'll try to get into more about try to have a guest here soon. I actually got a couple of people that I have an idea on to be on the show. But yeah, we'll eventually have a guest here, and we'll have a little bit of a sports debate or just sports talk here with another guest besides myself. So thank you guys so much for watching, or I should say for listening here this week here on the podcast. As always, if you guys enjoy the show, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Sports Gamers Soapbox Talk podcast here on ESGNet. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for the latest news and information on what's going on, especially the stories that we've covered today. And that is it. I will see you guys next time.